Yo. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Social Sunshine Podcast, episode 219. I'm your hostess, Brittany Cross, and thank you so much for being back for another episode. Today, I want to talk to you about what restaurants are doing wrong on social media. Now, I am not a restaurateur. I'm not a restaurant expert, but I am a social media expert and I do love to go to restaurants. So those are my qualifications for this conversation. But seriously though, in my company, Fun Love Media, we have worked with some restaurants on their social media, being their social media managers. And I learned a lot from those experiences, and also just really learning and soaking things in by following restaurants, especially here in Houston, because it's such a food city. And I love to follow restaurants and to see what are they doing, what are they not doing on social media, blame it on the day job. I'm always fascinated by that. Plus, I love food. And so I want to talk about what restaurants seem to be doing wrong on social media, which really is something that they're lacking. And what that is the how we do this, how we do that. Okay, so how we prepare the salsa in the morning before we open for the day, how we prepare and handle having a private event in our event room, like showing it behind the scenes, how we have our team meetings with our staff, how we make this, how we do that. The how that's not really shared all that much with restaurants. And I understand that, you can post a very pretty, well-lit photo of some of your delicious food and probably get a lot of likes just for doing that. And it's not that much effort to do that sort of a social media post compared to what I'm talking about. I'm really digging deep and showing people how you do things. And especially if you're doing it in video, which is preferred. Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, TikTok videos, YouTube Shorts, and so on. And I get it. It's easy to get the likes on the beautiful picture. And that's good to have that kind of content to kind of fall back on and fill in the spaces whenever you need to. I don't blame you one bit. But I think that as a food provider, which is so incredibly important, that you can not only stand out and stand above so many other restaurants that aren't going to do this, but you can also really, really, really strengthen the trust that your customers have in you when you show them even more about how you do stuff, right? Because we want to know as customers, as patrons of restaurants, we want to know how clean it is. We want to know how something is made. We want to know how fresh the ingredients are. We want to know, how you keep your staff's attitudes good, because they're always so friendly when we walk in. And how do you do that? What are y'all doing to be so positive? We want to know these things. And I just think that when you're talking about food, the more trust, the fucking better. I mean, we want trust in any industry, of course, right? Because people buy from people that they trust and places that they trust. But man, with food, it just takes it to a whole other level. So some specific examples, I've already kind of listed a few, but just to dig a little bit deeper, if you're kind of okay, Brittany, all right, cool, got this. Let's talk about, how we do things at my restaurant. Let's go with the event thing as our first example. If you have an area of your restaurant that you rent out for private events, which a lot of restaurants do, this is a great example. If you can create a video or multiple, you might decide on a schedule, we talk about this 4 times a year or 6 times a year or whatever, right? You're going to work out your content calendar, but so you're going to make a video about the behind the scenes, the preparation of the space. Someone is going to come and have this really special big birthday celebration. And what did y'all do to prepare the space? Have someone do a little bit of talking on camera that can say, this is really important to us that we do blah, 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 blah for an event, because if we do blah, 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 then blah, blah, blah happens, right? So really giving the customers an inside look at how you prepare, and literally showing footage of someone in that room cleaning things, setting up the tables the right way, somebody coming in with decorations if that's part of the situation, how you're going to handle preparing the food. You're doing it in bulk. Are they going to have a buffet thing? Like, why do you do it that way? Why is that better than doing it this way? How do you create a nice environment for them? Is there music in the room? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're giving all the behind the scenes details. Now, it can be a little tricky to squeeze that into a short, like 60-second video, which is what's probably ideal for short form video on social media right now, in the fall of 2023. And you may have hired an agency like what we do at Fun Love Media, and they can handle all this for you. I mean, tell them to listen to this episode and take some ideas and go for it. Cool. Or if you work with Fun Love Media, we can do it. We can do it together. But whether someone else is handling it or you are, this is just kind of like the blueprint of what that would look like. And you're going to share that. And what that's going to do, it's going to do multiple things for your business. But one, it's going to be entertaining. Who's not going to want to watch that? That is fucking cool. Like, I want to see how this whole big room gets set up for a private event, and what goes into it, and all the people that have to work hard to make it really fantastic, and all the food and all the things, right? I mean, that's entertaining. So you're entertaining people for sure. You're also educating your customers and your potential customers. You're sharing this where, like I said, you're going to build that trust. So by educating them on exactly what goes into the process, they're going to have more of an understanding for how it works, right? But also they're going to then have a higher value for it because they see all the effort and the care that goes into it. So all of a sudden, they understand why it costs this much or that much or this much. Because now they've seen it. They've seen something, behind the scenes, and it helps them really, really understand the value. That is a huge advantage to sharing something like this on social media. And then, of course, you're going to get more people that want to fucking book their event because they saw what goes into it. And you weren't like trying to sell them. You don't even have to end the video by saying, call us to book the room. Like, don't even do it. Don't even do it. Just, you don't even have to say it. Don't even put it in the fucking caption. You don't even have to say it. You are just showing them behind the scenes. You are just educating them. You are just giving them a peek behind the curtain. You are building up that trust. But for them, you're entertaining them. You're not trying to sell them. Okay? And it's going to sell them. It's going to sell them. So that's one example. Now, another one, which I know that some restaurants are into this and some are hesitant on this, but which is sharing how you make things on your menu. Like, one, you could have video footage of somebody just actually making it, and then all the way to when it's plated, and then even take it out, taken to the table. I suggest the whole process. That would be really fantastic. You're going to have clips of each part of the process, and you put it all together, and it's going to be like kind of like from farm to table, but it may not be farm, it may be wherever it's from, but you're going to show the process of the food, and then getting out to the actual person that's going to eat it, and show them taking their bite at the end and smiling, and it'd be a fantastic video. So there's that, of course, but the how we make this, as in actually show detailed and tell details of the ingredients. Like, if there's something that you guys make fresh that you're proud of, and it's pretty easy to explain, right? Share the details of what's in there. In fact, share the fucking recipe. That was something that I was encouraging restaurants to do in the height of COVID, is to share your recipes. Now, that you might be hesitant to do that and be like, well, shit, I don't want people just going, making the food themselves and not coming here to buy it. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. You know what's not going to happen? They don't want to fuck with that. People don't want to make the food. They're not going to be able to make it as good as you anyway. All right. So sharing your recipe isn't going to do you any harm. I'm telling you, it's what it's going to do, similar to the event thing. It's going to build more trust. It's going to entertain people. It's going to help them understand how you work and the love and care and effort that goes into the products. It's going to skyrocket the way that they look at you and the value that they put to your foods and your beverages at your business. It's a win-win-win all around. And if you do have some people that make it themselves at home, cool. Like tell them to fucking tag you and post it in their Instagram stories and then reshare it. I mean, it's great. It's good marketing. There's really, you can't lose with that. I understand that some restaurants have like a secret family recipe. Okay, fine. Maybe you don't share that one, but share something else. It's how we make it. How it goes from this to being this beautiful thing on your plate. How we prepare our event space. How we keep our team in such a positive frame of mind so that they can better serve you. Because nobody wants to walk into a restaurant and have someone that works there be an asshole to them. No one. That restaurant, I'm going to call them out. What is that restaurant where they're assholes to you on purpose? And I know it's supposed to be funny, but it's not. Dick's. Oh my God, that place. I can't. Maybe like I don't have the right sense of humor, but I was like, no, I'm actually hungry and I want someone to serve me and be nice and kind and not be an asshole. I know it's supposed to be funny, but it's not fucking funny, right? So like nobody wants to go into a restaurant and have somebody with a bad attitude. And it really can bring down the experience like big time. So talk about that. How do you keep everybody in the right mindset? Do you guys have team building exercises together? Is it the person that's worked there the longest, is it their birthday? And you want to talk about that and build them up and talk about why they're so special to the organization, right? Like you're showing how and behind the scenes of everything. And I just don't see enough restaurants doing this. And I think that it's such a missed opportunity. And with just a little bit of planning, whether it's you or it's, the agency or a person you've hired to do your social media, either way, with just a little bit of planning and go ahead and set aside some time to shoot that content and get it all done and get it worked into your content calendar rather than only posting pretty pictures of food and drinks. I'm telling you, it's going to be this thing that sets you apart. And it's organic social media marketing that we always talk about here on the show. We're not talking about ads. It's not paid. So it may take time for people to really, for these videos and things to build the momentum, but don't give up. Share the how. How do we do this? How do we do that? And I'm telling you, it's going to make such a positive impact on your restaurant. I hope that this was helpful. Thank you so much for listening today. I love talking about restaurants and food, and now I'm hungry. All right. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you later.